Welcome to Mother's Narrative Network. Before we begin, please like and subscribe for more daily uploads. Hope you enjoy today's video. Cheeky Ducker parked on my driveway. Cheeky Ducker, aka CF, has now been parked on my driveway for at least 3 hours. Husband home soon and won't be able to park. My question is, what can you actually practically do about this, apart from giving them an earful if you spot them returning to their car? A quick Google says the police won't do anything. They might if it's stopping you getting off your drive, but not if they're preventing you accessing your drive. My area's police website says, try contacting the council. The council's website clearly states they will not remove vehicles or issue parking charge notices for private drives. Also, you are not allowed to block them in, as this is an offense to stop them leaving, and obviously you cannot damage their car, as this would be criminal damage. Assuming you don't want to break the law, what are you meant to legally do if someone parks on your drive? Has anyone successfully got any type of justice against a CF? Or can I now just go around being a CF, never paying for parking, and just using other people's drives? Go and ask them to move it. Nicely though, yeah. I'd block them in. Paste a note on with Vaseline, I think that's what people recommend, or write with lipstick saying private drive, do not park here. I'd park across the end of my drive. It's not blocking them in if you leave a note on the windscreen letting them know where you are. They can come and knock when they want to leave. I would ask, but no idea where they are. We are quite close to the town, so probably gone for a day out. Post a photo of the car on your local next door or Facebook group asking whose car it is. Name and shame. You can block them in. At least you get to give them an earful when they knock on your door asking you to move. It is against the law to block them in after you have been asked. If they have parked on your drive, then it's not as if they don't know who's blocking them in. Have you tried knocking on neighbors' doors to see who it belongs to? If you can't find them, then I'd block them in and then say you can't move your car because you've had a drink. Maybe also write, I cannot be responsible for the safety of your vehicle while it is parked without permission on my property. Personally, I'd let husband block them in. They'll have no choice but to knock on the door, giving you the opportunity to give them a jolly good scolding. I'd park so they couldn't just move it, they had to come to the house. Whether you've got drive gates you can lock, or just use your car to block the exit. What are they gonna do? Ring the police? No, they gonna knock on your door. I'd then say, sorry, I've been drinking, can't move the car. You'll just have to leave it there till tomorrow now. Shame that's happened to you, cheeky four. Block them in with your DHS car, and then sadly you can't drive, and he's had a bad day, so downed a treble whiskey as soon as he walked in the door, so the car's blocked and it can't move until tomorrow AM, so sad. It's the only way people who do things like this learn it's not okay or not to. We did this, nicely, to a neighbor. They never parked on our drive again. How obvious is it that it's your drive? Could it be a genuine mistake, or definitely people being cheeky duckers? I'd roll the car off the drive into the road. Mumsnet rules are as follows: you must update, you must block them, and you must run and hide when they knock for you to let them out. Get someone else to block them in by parking across the entrance. Then you can say, sorry mate, someone just parked and left. There's a lot of it about. If you can have a glass of something alcoholic in your hand when you answer the door, even better. Also, has your DH told someone they could park there? I listened to a podcast once where this happened to a guy, and he was so annoyed he let their tires down. But when his wife got home, she told him it was a mate, and she had said it was fine, so he had to help fix it. Get it towed. I had a car towed off my drive. Mind you, it had been there for 3 days and nobody came for it and nobody else would help. Funnily enough, when it was towed, the owner turned up again. Oh well. Sorry, not sorry. As they have taken your drive, which is surely illegal, park across your driveway, which will unfortunately block them in. That unfortunate circumstance is a direct result of their total inconsideration to you and your husband. Simple explanation: if they complain, you had nowhere else to park. If they come back before your husband and you have a word before they drive away, that is probably what they would have the cheek to say to you: there was nowhere else to park. I can never understand why it is the cheeky people who do this can be totally outraged when they themselves find themselves blocked in. What goes around comes around, and in truth it is they who have sent this particular inconvenience around, not you. When your husband gets home, he should park them in, ideally so that is not directly in front of them, but so that they cannot get out. Bonnet up, hazard lights on. Then invite your husband in to wait for breakdown services, leaving CF to wander the streets, or call a taxi to get home. After a few hours, go out and move your car. Even better if CF is watching. Lock them in. When they knock, oh dear, you've had a drink and won't be safe to drive for another 2 hours. You'll move it then. Trim your hedges. Preferably sappy ones. Amazing how much hedge falls on your drive, which their car just happens to be parked on. Oh dear. Didn't they know about the mad local lady who chucks dog poo at people's cars? Bad luck. If you are in Scotland, it's legal to put a wheel clamp on a car parked on your land. Unless you already possess said wheel clamp, though that's not very helpful. Need a diagram for a parking thread. Block them, then when they knock, hang head out of upstairs window saying you are on an important Zoom call, then promptly close window. Let them sweat for a bit. Oh. Either put yourself on driveway parking spaces app. Or just put a sign out in your window saying £20 to park all day. Make them pay. You can also put some stones in front of all their wheels so they can't just roll off without paying their bill. My answer to this was always block them in, until I blocked them in and a hugely aggressive woman pushed past me into my house and refused to leave, and refused to believe that the car keys weren't on me. They weren't. It went on for over an hour. I'd still say block them in, but be prepared for the CF to be Twitty McTwitterson. I'd have called the police if a stranger barged into my house. She was in the wrong. She should wait outside until she can have her car back. I did. The police noted my concerns, but didn't turn up until 5 hours later. Basically, the woman and her Larry friend had been attending a funeral at a church nearby. When the police proved useless, I rang the vicar, who came out to placate her, and one of his staff maneuvered her car along the pavement and out of my life. She was entirely and completely unapologetic. Adamant that she'd already apologized to me, she hadn't, and that there were racial overtones to my asking her to apologize in any event. There weren't. It was quite something. Basically, twit's gonna twit. Looks like a good day to clean your gutters and mow the front lawn. Shame if any mud or debris ended on your seemingly empty driveway. We really need a diagram. Where is the diagram? For trolley jacks, pick the car up, move it somewhere where they'll get a ticket. Or, talk to them, be polite, and you may find your driveway was sold by an unscrupulous online parking service, and you can ask them who in order to stop it happening again. Or, even come to an arrangement and make some money yourself. Someone did this to me recently. It's a huge driveway, and I think they thought it was for other homes as well. I just parked in the middle of it so they couldn't get out. They rang the bell after a short time, 10 minutes or so of me parking. I answered the door, eventually. Then told them I was busy and couldn't move car right now. Told them to just wait. I'd try within the hour. I left it as long as I could stand. Probs only 15 minutes and then went out and moved it. Go for a walk with a plastic bag. Collect as many dog shoes within a 15-minute walk as you can find. Return home and deposit shoes all over offending car windscreen and door handles. Extra point for smearing into air vents. Everyone wins. You get to make a point without any proof it was you. The neighborhood gets a load of dog shit removed and the car owner learns not to dump his car on someone's drive. Pressure wash your drive, flower pots, bikes etc. It makes a really mess of any cars nearby. The passive-aggressive thing to do here is to scatter bird feed over the car, so that it gets bird poo all over it. The only foolproof thing you can do to stop people parking on your drive is to get a gate that locks. There are loads that can be opened remotely. Obviously that's expensive, but it depends on how annoying it is to you to have someone parking on your property. I'd phone 101 anyway in case the car is stolen or no MOT, a tax etc. Then write out a bill. Parking in my driveway £XX per day, or part of day. Or £XX per hour. Put it on their windscreen. I'd block them in, then claim to have had a drink when they knock. But I'd accidentally drop a nail by their wheel as well, so when they reverse they have a nice, hopefully slow puncture. Surprised that they need to get fixed. We live on an equestrian property, and I have had people park on my driveway, blocking all access in and out and even on my yard. Sometimes, they even stay with their cars and have a little picnic. I always lock the gates if they refuse to move. We have large animals moving to and from paddocks. I need to lock up for health and safety reasons. Once, I even had some picnickers open the gate to my horse's corral, park up in it with the ponies in it and refuse to leave. They moved fast enough when my dopey geldings started to chew on their windscreen wipers. Funnily enough, no one has done it for a while. As PP have said, block them in with a note and make them wait. People like this don't care if they put you out, but they really care when you do it to them. For everyone saying block them in, unfortunately I can't. Without stopping the neighbors getting into their spaces, or blocking the road. Hope diagram helps. I've put note on window, cones either end of car, just to cause them a bit bother when they do want to move. I'm loving all the ideas. Very funny. I'm just genuinely perplexed as what, without breaking the law, you're meant to do. If the police and council won't do anything, I don't see why I ever need to pay for a parking space again. I'll just use other people's drives. One of my neighbors posted a "OMG, this car has been abandoned on my drive. I really hope whoever has had the emergency is okay" type post on our local Facebook group when someone parked on her drive. It took 6 messages for the owner to be identified and a further 3 for his mum to be tagged. He got a public bull locking from his mum and had never, as far as I know, parked on anyone's drive again. Would only work somewhere with a small neighborhood, a really good gossip and nosy network. This is a brilliant idea. Knock up some fake car park signs with the corresponding effing ridiculous hourly charges. Might be more convincing if you get DH to stand out there in a beanie and high vis, looking a bit bored. I'd say it's pretty clear they're out spaces. We've lived here 6 years and no one else has ever parked there, well, not that I've seen. They are paved with pebbles or stones, surrounded with a paved border and a hedge that goes all the way around the space, green bit on diagram. The stones on the floor are very obviously decorative, and something put in by the owner of the house, nothing like what you'd get on a public road. Wrap it in cling film. Raid the recycling for some tin cans, tie to the rear bumper or tow point and put a "just divorced" sign on the back. Get the chalk pens out and write "honk it's my birthday" on the back. Are your neighbors home? They could park really close either end of the car. Failing that, a honk if you wanna see, insert obscenity, or "I'm a twit who will park where the duck I like" sign on the boot, away from the window. You have my sympathy. I've got someone parked across my drive, complete with dropped curb and single yellow lines as I type. Is it illegal to accidentally drop drawing pins in your own driveway? Whistles innocently. There was a thread a few months ago, I think, of a bloke who did just that, to a family who live in the country. The householder did lock the gate, I think. There was then a standoff for a day, or so until the coward sent his wife round to ask for the car. So some people are willing to do just that. Unbelievably cheeky. I'm fascinated by the mentality of people who will quite knowingly park on someone's private drive. How do they have the brass neck? We're moving house, and one of the houses we viewed was a gorgeous listed townhouse in a popular riverside town. It had 2 parking spaces with private parking painted in 3-foot letters in each space. Parking is a big issue for me when considering a property, and I told the owner this as we looked around. I glanced out of the window and a car was pulling into one of the spaces. I mentioned they'd got visitors and the owner looked and said no, they weren't expecting anyone. A rough-looking bloke got out of the car, and the owner called from the window that it was private parking. He just said, "Don't worry, I won't be long," and walked off. In that moment I knew I couldn't live there, and the owner looked defeated. She knew it was a deal breaker for me. I felt so sorry for her, but I had a feeling this wasn't a one-off and I just couldn't be doing with it. I'd put some chocolate spread under the driver door handle so they panic and think it's poo. Once the car is on your property, it is a civil matter, and you are responsible for any damage to it whilst it is on your property. What do you expect people to do when it happens? I just did a quick Google and found loads of stories of people doing it. Buy some spike strips that the police use to stop cars. Chain it to your driveway behind their car. Your driveway, you can do what you like. If they choose to reverse over it, their problem. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Before you go, please like, comment, and subscribe for more daily uploads.